a dream.
Hi, welcome to Dish with Trish and welcome to my kitchen. Today I want to show you how to make Salisbury steak. And this is not Salisbury steak that comes in the package that's processed that just goes in the oven for 20 minutes or in your microwave. This is actual homemade Salisbury steak. So let's get started with this recipe. And I will show you the ingredients we'll be using. I have a cup of crushed cornflakes here that we'll be using for this recipe. You can buy Kellogg's cornflake crumbs, or you can just take a box of cornflakes and smash them up and do that by either putting them in a baggie and running them over with a rolling pin, or throwing them in your food processor or your bullet machine, whatever you have to get these guys crunched up. Next, we'll be using some more Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon, 1 teaspoon of Italian blend seasoning. If you don't have Italian seasoning, you can also just use basil, oregano, marjoram, and thyme, then you're good to go, because that's what's in Italian seasoning. So we'll be using about a teaspoon of our chopped garlic. I'm using minced garlic. That's quick and easy. You can also use your clove of garlic if you'd like, but that's a little bit more work. A couple of eggs, and these are brown eggs. And I don't know if you're aware, but there's really no difference in the taste of a white egg or a brown egg. The only difference is in who laid the egg. There's a certain type of chicken that lays brown eggs, and there's a certain type of chicken that lays white eggs, and that's the only difference in an egg. About a teaspoon of salt. If you're using regular salt that has sodium chloride in it, you'll see that it's been bleached, and that's because there's iodine in that salt, and it needed to be bleached out so that it doesn't look ugly, because as you know, iodine is not a pretty looking substance. So that's why salt is bleached. 3/4 cup of ground sirloin in here. It's a 90-10 mixture, and I also have a 3/4 cup of ground turkey. Normally I like to only use turkey when I'm cooking, but you do need to have a little bit of beef in your diet. To the left of my stovetop here, you'll see that I have some baby bella mushrooms that I've sliced up, and I've also sliced up some onions that I'm going to be sauteing. We'll be using those later in our recipe when we get to it. Once we've cooked our Salisbury steak, then we're going to be simmering it for a little bit, and we have a couple of cups of water here we'll be using. I also have instant bouillon beef broth here, seasoning. It's gluten-free and there's no MSG in it. You can use regular beef stock if you have it. I didn't have it, so just use what you have. And now we're going to go back on over to the items we'll be adding into our bowl. The first thing I'd like to do is add my sea salt. Okay, we'll add I think about a half a teaspoon of sea salt will do it. Our teaspoon of minced garlic. Our teaspoon of Italian seasoning mix. Right here goes. You know, when you look at this recipe, this is almost like making meatballs, except for making Salisbury steak instead, because there's flat patties. You know, meatballs are round and fluffy and big balls that you have there. We'll add in 1 teaspoon of our Worcestershire sauce. That goes. Mix these ingredients all together. Okay, looks pretty good. 2 eggs. Right. There they go. If you're watching your cholesterol, you can also just use an egg substitute here. In goes the other egg. And we will mix. Of course, our eggs will look a little slimy when it's just over top of our meat. Once we add in our cornflake crumbs, everything will come together real nicely. Now in goes our cornflake crumbs. Put those all in there. You could actually use a little less if you'd like. Probably a half a cup would be fine too if that's all you have. I decided to put a whole cup in there, so this is really going to make it crispy and yummy. And we'll stir this up real well. Okay, here we are. Our 2 burgers back here in our little baby pan is ready to go in here with the big ones. So put babies with big ones. Alright, there we go. Now we have a total of 9 Salisbury steaks in here. We have our 2 cups of water here, and we'll be adding in our beef broth now. We'll try 2 tablespoons, and I think that's going to be pretty good for this. In it goes. There we are. Mix up real good. You might want to use a wire whisk for this. I already have a spoon in there. Taking away. Turn our heat down to a low heat. And now we'll take our onions and our Bella mushrooms and pop those into our pan. That's our peas over there on the other side that you're hearing, in case you were wondering what all the noise is. In goes our Bella mushrooms and our opaque onions. This smells really good. Now you just want to spread everything around. Get everything in a little bit of the juice that you have going on in there. Okay, and then you want to give a little taste test. Check your juice, make sure it's good. Make sure you don't need to add more bouillon or more beef broth, whatever it is you have. Here we are, we're going to test it. Very good. We'll let our Salisbury steak simmer with these wonderful Bella mushrooms and opaque onions, and then we will be ready to eat up. Okay, as you can see here, we're heading down the finish line. Now we'll add our Salisbury steak to this really nice little plate here. And we'll just slowly scoop them out one by one without making a mess, hopefully. You can line these up ever how you'd like. I'll try to take a photo, so I want them to look kind of pretty. Let's get a little closer up. Guys up. Oh, look at that. We have just 9, enough to make this just look wonderful for my photo. Very good. Oh, the Bella mushrooms. I used about half a pack. That's all I had, but you may want to use an entire pack of those. Make this taste really good. Now we'll just add on our sauce. The sauce is going to taste really good on those mashed potatoes over there too. Look at that. What more could my guys want for dinner? So, actually my birthday's coming up, so I'm hoping to get something really nice. I'm his main squeeze, and I am definitely cook around here. Here we have it. Our Salisbury steak's all done, and it smells really good. I can't wait to try it. We've got some potatoes back here going on to have with it, and also some peas. And there's a variety of things you can put with Salisbury steak. Any vegetable, any potato, any starch. Works wonderfully. So let's get this plated up and give it a try. Okay, I'm going to give this a little try before everybody comes in the kitchen. And I got plenty of mushrooms with plenty of onions. I'm going to add a little bit of this juice on top before they get here. Just try this out. This is really good. You're going to really like it. These really taste like meatballs. Give these a try. I know you're going to love them.
Your what?
Sirloin steak. What do you think?
Pretty good pressure. I don't know yet. Get off the damn fork.
I had a dream. I will trust in you, Lord, let me not be ashamed. You are my light and my salvation, healing rain. You're the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? You protected me from the grave when I saw bullets spray. Bullets surround me.
Thank you for watching.